It's the Thursday afternoon edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Welcome back, everyone, and what an eventful evening we had last night. We weren't real geared up for severe weather last night. I thought it was an outside possibility, but not super likely. But these storms, as they came off of Lake Erie, meant some business. And while the official storm reports were much more numerous in southwest Ohio into Indiana, down into Kentucky, we did have a handful of official severe weather reports here across northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania. There's a large hail report up in Madison and Lake County, 1 inch in diameter. In Kinsman and Trumbull County, 1.5 inch diameter hail. And then we had a wind damage report over in Grove City, trees down blocking East Main Street. So it was an eventful evening. We did have a tornado warning for a while last night from about 11 to 11:45 in the eastern part of Trumbull County. Thankfully, no tornado was reported. It was a pretty weak circulation on the radar. It was probably a borderline call for the National Weather Service to issue that warning. I could see in many situations where they would not issue a warning for that particular type of weak rotation, but I can also see why they did. This happened right before we went on the news last night at 11 o'clock, and so I had a quick decision to make. Do we preempt the newscast with wall-to-wall coverage of this potential tornado in eastern Trumbull County, or do we simply, cover it on social media, do a few cut-ins on TV, but not do what we call wall-to-wall coverage? In other words, just make the whole newscast about weather. We decided not to go crazy with it last night, and a lot of you weren't sure why that was. A lot of you might have flipped the channel, and I understand that completely, but we have to keep in mind that not all tornado warnings are created equal. This, to me, as a meteorologist with 13 years of experience, did not seem like a real big imminent threat, and so to me it didn't warrant all of the sudden going crazy and scaring a lot of people when a lot of people did not need to be scared. We had a lot of problems last night with sirens being set off in municipalities that were in no danger whatsoever of seeing a tornado. I've got a long post on this, little diatribe this morning on my weather blog. It's ericwfmj.com. You can read this. It's titled About Sirens and Our Coverage Last Night, and I go into a little explanation as to how the National Weather Service issues warnings these days. They do not include entire counties most of the time, and in fact this last night was just the eastern parts of Trumbull County, east of Cortland, the northeastern corner almost of Trumbull County. So Warren and Lordstown and Niles and all those places in southern Trumbull, western Trumbull, where you might have heard sirens, they were under no threat whatsoever of seeing a tornado last night. So sirens can be very, very deceiving. It's a problem. It's something that, as we are now well into the 21st century, that we should not be relying on for severe warnings. And again, read my post for more on that. All right, let's talk about rain for just a second, because this overall was probably the biggest threat last night, since the hail was not too huge. Tornado threat never really materialized. Flash flooding, an issue, particularly up in Ashtabula County, but even in that northeastern part of Trumbull and northwestern part of Mercer, radar estimates of generally 2 to 3 or 4 inches worth of rain in through here last evening. So we're drying out today, of course, but this is enough rain to cause some flash flooding. And so I preached once again last night, turn around, don't drown. If you see standing water on the roadways, do not attempt to drive through it. You don't know how deep it is. Last night was the type of situation that can cause a lot of problems, where all of a sudden there's been a lot of rain. You're not sure how deep it is. You try to drive through it, and you run into some big problems. All right, that's the past. Let's focus on the present. This afternoon, it's awfully nice outside. Nice breeze out there. Temperatures here in the 2 o'clock hour around 70 degrees, and the humidity is coming down. Those are the temperatures. Here are the dew points. Dew points are dropping down to around 50. Yesterday, dew points were in the 60s. It was much more humid out there. Today, it feels much more comfortable. All of the action has shifted east. This is a severe thunderstorm watch in eastern parts of Pennsylvania, in the yellow here, New Jersey, up to about New York City, then heading up the Hudson Valley and encompassing much of upstate New York. That's where the threat for severe weather is this afternoon, but no threat for severe weather whatsoever. In fact, no threat for rain for the rest of the day across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Show you the temperatures real quick here, and you can definitely see that things have improved. It's very comfortable. The warmth and the humidity is now shunted off to the south. Let's bring up the dew point contours once again, just to show you how much drier the air mass is. This is where all the muggy air is, east coast, southeast. The air is drying out here across northeast Ohio and into western parts of Pennsylvania. Smooth sailing for the rest of the day today. Smooth sailing for tomorrow. I do think tomorrow is a somewhat cloudier day. I wouldn't even be totally shocked if there was a sprinkle somewhere tomorrow. But overall, all things considered, not bad. And we'll get our cloudy day out of the way in time for the weekend. Got the holiday weekend coming up, and boy, does it look fantastic. Let's skip forward to Saturday. Here's Saturday afternoon. High pressure centered over Indiana. It's going to be just a great afternoon. Saturday might start a little bit cloudy. The afternoon, though, should feature sunshine and fantastic weather. Here's Sunday. This is probably the sunniest of all 3 days. Hardly a cloud in the sky on Sunday, probably. Maybe some fair weather cumulus clouds. That is it. High pressure will be almost right over our heads Sunday afternoon. And then here's Memorial Day. We've been carrying a 30% chance of a shower or a thunderstorm on Monday. I suspect I'm going to continue that, but I'll probably today, since we're getting a little closer, restrict this just to the afternoon and probably late in the afternoon. So, bottom line for Memorial Day, small chance of rain, and if it does rain, it's not going to be in the morning. It's not going to be probably in the afternoon. It's going to be late in the afternoon towards sunset. So that's when our chances for rain will enter the picture for Memorial Day. Little front slips in, it looks like on Tuesday, as a lot of us head back to work. This front is a weak one, but it still might spark a couple of thunderstorms across the region on Tuesday. And it could knock our temperatures back for a day or two. It's not going to be cold, but it may not be in the 80s for a day or two. But overall, the trend next week is warm. Here's the 16-day temperature anomaly forecast based on last night's GFS ensemble model. The black line in the middle, that's average. That's where we should be, or where is typical for the season. The line that moves around, that's the model forecast. And so you'll notice we spent a lot of time above average starting this weekend and taking us right through into the first few days of June. So the unofficial start of summer, Memorial Day weekend, appropriately enough, the weather really is going to feel more like summer as we head into next week. All right, that's weather for Weather Geeks on this Thursday. I have tomorrow off. Mike Joyce will be in for 21 News at 6 and 11 tomorrow evening. No Weather Geeks tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be on a golf course somewhere relaxing a little bit after a long couple of weeks with a few episodes of severe weather here in the Youngstown area. But I'll see you back here on Monday. Have yourself a great and safe Memorial Day holiday weekend.